Hey, welcome to the Cohn phone. I'm Grant Cohn. Going to take your calls for about the next hour before I start my second job of looking for a house. Want to do my little preamble first. What's interesting about this offseason is it's the transition to Trey Lance unofficially, and a lot of people are getting in their hot takes before we get more evidence. We basically still haven't seen much of Trey Lance. Some have seen more than others if you've been to practice like I have, but we really haven't seen much. And anyone who's willing to go out and say, I heard something, or I have a better eye, he's not good, is going to get a lot of attention. So that's, I think, a big reason why you're starting to see people come out and say, I heard Trey Lance isn't good, because all of a sudden you're a celebrity if you say that. The most recent guy is a guy from Philly, Matt Lombardo, who tweeted real casually, I've heard that the 49ers are continually underwhelmed by he tweeted it just like that in that tone. I've heard that the 49ers are continually underwhelmed by Trey Lance. And then that tweet went viral. He went on the radio here in the Bay Area and clarified his statement. So I'm going to read what he said. He said, this all stems from a conversation that I had with an executive who's pretty tight with people within the Niners organization. So he's already once removed. He heard from an executive who heard from people in the organization. Then following up with a couple of members of the coaching staff. Who? A couple of members of the coaching staff. Yeah, Trey Lance is trash. I like you, Matt Lombardo. I'm going to tell you because I trust you. The feeling around San Francisco, this is Lombardo again, so dating back to last summer during training camp. So it's old news. Was a little bit of disappointment over the Trey Lance that arrived in training camp versus what they saw on film at North Dakota State from an arm strength standpoint, from a deep ball accuracy standpoint. He's actually making the claim that the Niners thought his arm wasn't strong enough. That's new. I heard a lot of people say he threw too hard last year, needed some touch. Now, Lombardo saying he doesn't throw hard enough. The dude is Goldilocks. He's the Goldilocks of quarterbacks. No matter what he does, it's either too hard, too soft, too this, too that. Doesn't matter the actual end result, but the process was too something. This is back to Lombardo. He says, and then you look at when he got into the games this season, he didn't exactly set the world on fire, except for the fact that he was in 3 games, and in 2 of those games, his quarterback rating was above 115. I mean, what more do you want from a freaking rookie? But okay, didn't set the world on fire. Now, I know he had the injury, says Lombardo. I know he was a rookie, and it certainly takes time for NFL quarterbacks to develop, but the Niners gave up a lot to get Trey Lance. Yeah. How is that a sentence? And then the questions that I keep hearing about the deep ball accuracy and the arm strength in practice. Questions about arm strength in practice. Some whispers about how quickly he is understanding the playbook. Oh, you always hear that? I'm not going to go there, but you always hear that with black quarterbacks, right? Whispers about how he's understanding the playbook like he's a freaking idiot. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. You never hear people say stuff like this about Jimmy Garoppolo. Deep ball accuracy, arm strength, understanding the playbook. That's Jimmy. It's like this Lombardo was like eavesdropping, someone talking about Niners quarterback, and he just assumed they were talking about Trey Lance. They're clearly talking about Jimmy. Deep ball accuracy? Yeah, that's Jimmy. How could anyone watch the Niners last year in training camp, 2 quarterbacks, and come away being like, yeah, that number 5 just can't throw deep balls like number 10. That number 5 just doesn't have the juice on his throws like number 10. Are you kidding? Anyway, back to Lombardo. Again, this guy never even went to practice. I was at practice. I saw this. He's saying what he heard from someone who probably wasn't there. Here, I'm back to Lombardo. Hold on. Yeah, I'm back to Lombardo. The concerns that were shared with me stems from last year in training camp. Last year when he was able to practice during the regular season, but quarterbacks do make those big leaps from year 1 to year 2. I think that's the sort of leap the Niners have to hope Trey Lance makes in his second year. Lance is going to have to show up this spring and this summer ready to prove that he can make that leap. Thanks, Matt. At least that's just what I've been hearing. I love, man. You can always say, that's what I heard. Anyway, that's how I feel about Matt Lombardo's report. It's pretty flimsy. He's talking about stuff third hand from last year. And I think he told on himself when he said that he doesn't throw hard enough. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You weren't at practice. Stop passing off third-hand information that's wrong and old. Do better. Because you're doing it at the expense of a young black quarterback. It's not right, man. You know you're doing that. Doesn't understand the playbook. What? Say that about Jimmy. How come you can't say that about Jimmy, but you can say that about Trey when you don't even know him? There's no evidence of what Trey can or can't do other than what I've seen in practice, not what you've seen. Anyway, it's profitable to hate Trey Lance, as you've seen. I had a writer on my channel, on my site, no longer writes for my site, who was just dumping on Trey Lance every chance he could get because it's like shouting fire in a movie theater. I mean, you get a lot of attention. Trey Lance is terrible. Everyone's like, how do you know? What have you seen? Who have you talked to? I just know. Anyway, it's annoying. So I just wanted to break down the latest. All right, let's get some people on the show. AK-49, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Grant? A long time no hear.
It's been a while. How you doing?
Man, doing good. Just real life. Just been busy with real life, man. How about you?
Same, man. Same. What's on your mind today?
Yes. So what's on my mind about Trey Lance is okay, so let's say let's play devil's advocate and say, what Lombardo said was true about him not having, about him being raw and not having the best arm strength like you saw on tape. Do you know when's the last time he played a consistent number of games, meaning consecutive games together?
But hold on. This dude wasn't at training camp.
I know.
I was at training camp. He didn't throw too soft. Like, that's silly to me. Everyone was saying, like, man, that's pretty hard. Actually, a lot of people are dropping his passes. It was the opposite.
But I believe you. But let's say it's not the arm strength. Let's say it was mechanics issues with his arm. That's what college.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
But whatever.
Something.
But let's say that. Yeah. You know that the last time he played, Trey had an opportunity to play consecutive games together, because you only get better when you play more, was 2019. Yeah. Then 2020 was the COVID year. And then, unfortunately, in 2021, he didn't get a fair chance to compete for the job. I mean, how do you get better taking reps with the 2s and 3s? I mean, no disrespect to the practice squad guys or the third stringers, but how do you get better, practicing with them versus practicing with Debo or Ayuk consistently?
Yeah, and how do you get better when your quarterback coach isn't all in with you? The more you look into Rich Scangarello, I want to say real quick, look into Rich Scangarello. So he was the Niners QB coach when Jimmy Garoppolo was here. Did a good job with Jimmy for half a season, got a promotion, left, became an offensive coordinator, came back last year from Philly, brought Nate Sudfeld with him. The Niners hired him in January, okay? He thought he was coming here to work with Jimmy. Right. What do they do 3 months later? Trade for Trey. So at that point, he realizes, I'm not going to be here long. Jimmy's not the future. I'm not the future. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm curious, like, what effect did that have on Trey Lance to have a coach who was probably bitter at Trey Lance's mere presence in the building, because his presence signified that Scangarello wasn't long for that job. I just finished listening to a podcast he did a couple of months ago with Greg Cosell. You go listen to that and listen to Scangarello talk about what he likes in quarterbacks, and tell me if you think he would like a quarterback like Trey Lance. He actually says at one point, do you want a guy who could throw the ball 70 yards and run around, or you want a guy who could throw with anticipation and aid yak and 8 yards after the catch and process information? Like, dude, he doesn't seem like a Trey Lance guy at all. And I think it's been reported. I think Eric Crocker said he's not a Trey Lance guy. That's not fair for Trey. He needs a coach that wants to coach him. And I think at least Brian Griese fits that bill.
That, and also he needs guys in the locker room that believes in him. Like last year, it was like most of the locker room was pro Jimmy. So it's like Trey basically was on his own last year.
Yeah. Not good. Not ideal. I'm glad that Kyle cleaned house, man. About time. Good to see you, AK.
Hey, good luck in the house, man, as well.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Later. Someone's a member. Gregory, thank you. I appreciate it. Franklin.
Hey, Grant.
What's up, man? Good to see you.
Been a little minute. How you been?
Been a minute and a half. How you been?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I've been. Am I still coming through?
Oh yeah, you're better. You're back now. You're back. Yeah, you're back.
All right. I've been reading the articles and about Matt Lombardi, and I've been reading them all, and I've been really just laughing at them, because this is just a little ridiculous. I mean, in my opinion, this reminds me of, well, it's not any situation. It feels like they're setting up a standard for Trey Lance that makes absolutely no sense.
Can you imagine if Trey Lance ever had a day where he threw 5 picks in practice like Jimmy Garoppolo did? When people would say, people nitpick the way Trey Lance goes about his job, but nothing Jimmy Garoppolo does is held against him. Like, he could be the worst quarterback ever in a day, and people be like, it's all right, it's just practice. It's just practice. Look at his smile.
I'm sorry, I got disconnected for a little second.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, your connection's a little mediocre.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. It's all right. You probably got like 1 bar.
All right, there it is. Now it's back up.
Hey, go inside. Call back. You got to get a better connection, man. I'll see you. Voice ad agency. What's up? Sorry, Franklin.
What is going on, Grant? How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
So I got two things I need to talk to you about, Grant. Two things.
Okay.
First, I need to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
I need to make you feel a little uncomfortable because you gave me confirmation. So I need to know if you gave me confirmation because I did a super chat for $5 or if you're a man of your word.
Okay.
I said, Grant, I want early confirmation. You're going to be at the ATL game, staying at Omni at the Battery in ATL.
Staying at the Omni at the Battery?
Omni at the Battery.
That's where I got to stay?
That's where you got to stay. I'm thinking game day. Grant Cohn phone, a bunch of rowdy 49er fans in the background.
That would be dope. I like that. I'm gonna be in Atlanta. I'm gonna bring my wife too. When do they drop the schedule? That's when sports writers make all their plans.
I think I saw something like it was
like a
it's
week
like
from
in
now?
2 weeks, I believe. I believe it's like coming in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna be there. I
All
like
right.
it. Atlanta's fun.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's do
Game
it.
day thread, Grant Cohn, you know,
All right.
Niner fans, straight from the public.
I like it, man. That's a good one. That'll be fun.
All right.
All right.
Second thing, on this Lance,
Mhm.
I'm more of a basketball player.
Okay.
So I analyze things more as far as in basketball terms. I think of levels of it. Say like you're going from junior high to varsity to college.
Mhm.
What really changes the most, you know, players, of course, get stronger, but it's the speed of the game.
Mhm.
Can you handle the speed of the game? The great players, the game slows down for them.
Right.
For me, Jimmy G looks like he still never can adapt to the speed. You know, if once he gets the ball, if that one read is not open, it's just not there, and some bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
As far as with Lance, I feel like the game, once he gets enough snaps, the game slows down for him. You know, the speed is not intimidating to him at all.
Right.
I mean, think about the things he's been thrown into. He's been thrown into 2 divisional games against the Cardinals and the Seahawks, you know, back to back. That's pretty tough, but he looked poised. One thing I noticed that he doesn't usually go 3 and out either. The ball moves.
Mm-hmm.
And in that Cardinal game, you look at it, there was a lot of things taken away due to holding calls on the offensive line and everything else. He would have had a lot more yards, you know, not for that. And I think that was just because the line, he's elusive. So the line had to block a lot longer than they're normally accustomed to with Jimmy.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I don't see where all of this, as far as what's the word I'm trying to use, as far as can't think of the right word right now, but all of this criticism that is coming from that is just and coming out of nowhere. You know, I don't see what it is, and I think it is more. I think you're a little bit onto it. That it's more people probably losing their jobs because he's coming up and they're wanting to have better fits around him, and that's where that bitterness is coming from. Because you don't hear that bitterness from the players.
Mm-mm.
You know, if anything, when the players get interviewed about him and they get in awkward positions, you know, you can tell that they want to compliment Lance, but at the same time, if they start to compliment him, it's like, well, damn, I'm shooting down Jimmy, who's our guy. So, you know, it's always a quick like, oh, well, Lance is doing really good. Yeah, he has high potential, but, you know, Jimmy's our guy. That's usually right where you hear right after.
Right. And that's a situation that see a lot of this speculation is because Kyle set up the situation. You made a big trade for him, then you put him on the bench and didn't explain it. Like you just went about last season and didn't really explain what's going on. And so everyone's just going to run wild with their theories. And whoever has the most compelling theory gets the most attention. And that's what we're seeing right now. But pretty soon he's going to be the starter and we're all going to see for ourselves.
Yeah. And not only is he going to be a starter, but Jimmy G is probably still going to be in the damn building.
He's going to be a backup somewhere. I got to take more calls, man. Good to see you.
All right.
All right.
Omni at the Battery.
Omni at the Battery. You got it. Adam.
Hey, Grant. Not switching to Trey Lance after Jimmy Garoppolo hurt himself at Tennessee is the biggest missed opportunity of a lifetime.
Agree.
You had every reason to switch to Trey Lance. Jimmy hurt himself. Not only did he hurt himself, he hurt his thumb.
Yep.
Right? And he hurt his shoulder, and he has surgery now. You made the move up to Trey Lance because you already identified the problem was Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
And so everything was right there for you.
Yes.
You had the chance to switch. I mean, what a great movie that would have been. To switch to Trey Lance, you could have initiated a new offense. It could have been so dynamic. And I mean, Kyle really missed out on a great opportunity for a great movie, and we'll never get to see it.
I mean, forget the movie. Like, think about how much more promising this season would seem right now if Trey Lance had some experience from last year.
Oh, absolutely. And we would know exactly what Trey Lance is. And I also think Trey Lance would have scored more points against the Packers. Remember, the offense didn't really score.
How could you score less, Adam?
Exactly. I think they beat the Rams. It took a miracle to beat the Rams at the Rams in the.
It took Deebo Samuel throwing a touchdown pass.
Trey Lance with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and all those running backs. I mean, I think they go through the playoffs scoring maybe more than 30 points a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't really know why Kyle didn't make the switch. He had the opportunity to make the switch. Jimmy wasn't out. If Jimmy was out and went to Trey,
he's scared.
Then, yeah. But like, why be scared if you already made the move to go up and get Trey?
That's
and you're going to start him.
No one knows the answer.
You're going to start him this year, right?
That's why people come out and say they think that Trey Lance is trash, because this is such a weird quandary that you bring up. There's no good answer.
I mean, to add Trey Lance when the entire league doesn't even have footage on him yet, you know exactly what he does because you have him in practice. Man, what a great playoff run that could have been, and we could have been celebrating a Super Bowl.
I know. Well, that'll be a decision that Kyle Shanahan has to think about and defend for a very long time. Adam, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. I was passionate to the point. Black Caesar says black quarterbacks are held to a different standard. Ain't that the truth? It's fine. Trey will just have to make his doubters eat crow. I mean, is it fine? I don't know. It's pretty annoying. Jay says, Grant, what are you hearing about Lance's progress since he has been back in Santa Clara? When is the first open practice? I'm not gonna pretend like I heard something like some of these other writers. We'll see. You got rookie minicamp coming up, and then you got OTAs later in May. So we shall see. We'll see. We'll freaking see. T Bizzle, what's up? And then the coach, and then Aldara, and then Swan Song, and then William. Don't go anywhere. I'm getting you guys. What's up? T Bizzle.
Yo, I got a bullet point list. We'll go through it quick.
Let's do it.
So speculation, absolutely. I'm hearing somebody said, okay, that could be your friend.
Me? That's not reporting.
You heard your dad say in the kitchen that
I heard someone said a year ago, like, that's great, man. You should have kept that to yourself.
Or it's some pro football focused podcast, and they're just speculating that we think the 49ers probably underwhelmed. And now this guy says, I'm hearing that the 49ers are underwhelmed.
Yeah, you heard. Yeah.
The 49ers front office loves Trey Lance. That's the.
I mean, if they were expecting he was going to be Patrick Mahomes right away, maybe they were underwhelmed. But like in comparison to the other quarterback they had, they should have been real excited.
Well,
real encouraged.
That's another one of my bullet points here is compared to Jimmy. I want to get there in a second. So my take on Trey Lance, his personality. I think Trey Lance is a swell guy. I'm going to use that word swell. If there was one guy on the 49ers I would let date my daughter, it would be Trey Lance. I think he's a really good dude. I think he's a swell dude. But at the same time, I think he lacks a little bit of maturity. Like, I want to be cool, and but there's also like this thing where like people like want to be cool, and I think there's a little bit of that with Trey Lance that I kind of pick up. Or I'm not
he's
sure.
The youngest guy in the team.
He is.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And I'm just not sure that he's quite yet like a leader of men, and so I wonder about that aspect of his personality.
He's the youngest quarterback in the NFL, right? No, Sam Howell is. He's the second youngest quarterback in the NFL. Okay,
but I think he's going to be the youngest starting quarterback. Yeah, or he's set up to be the youngest starting quarterback. But I think he's a really nice guy for sure.
Yeah.
On field, here's where I'm going to have to make a lot of 49ers fans mad. And this other guy earlier that said Trey Lance had poise on. Trey Lance did not look comfy back there. He didn't pass the eyeball test. I mean, folks like to talk a lot about the second half against the Texans. they put up some points, but I didn't think Trey Lance looked great. I didn't think he looked great. Now, on the flip side, he has a lot of potential, and he should have got more reps over Jimmy this past
What do
year.
you expect him to look like in his second start? He's a rookie. He's 21. He won the game. I mean, what was he supposed to look like? How good was he? How polished was he? I mean, you knew he was going to look like that, right? You didn't get the reps in camp. You didn't play all year. It was going to be a little rough. He improved as the game went on. I thought that was an encouraging display from a rookie. Honestly, it was a must-win game. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get in an argument with you. I saw you made this point on Twitter. I thought it was interesting. You took a lot of heat for it. I respect it.
Because I said the second half, and I should have said the fourth quarter.
Look, man, I don't know if Trey Lance is going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. He might not be. We'll see. I just firmly believe that he was their best option last year. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I wanted to see Trey Lance get reps over Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I think Kyle's play calling wasn't helping Trey Lance. You got to let him. Yeah. You got to let him scramble when the play breaks down. Don't call.
You got to let him. You got to move the pocket on play action. Once they started doing that in the second half against Houston, they couldn't defend the whole field. It's too much. The run, because they don't do that with Jimmy, and they didn't do that. It was like with Trey at first. It was like you have to prove that you can throw all the Jimmy passes. Like, okay, can we please do? Can we take some shots? Can we take some shots? Can we move the pocket? Once they did, touchdown. And it was the same way in the preseason. I think there's going to be a very explosive element to the passing game that hasn't been here since freaking Kaepernick.
Yeah, you got to trust the quarterback and let it rip. It's like Justin Fields' coach. He wasn't really dialing up the plays for him. And then towards the end of the season, he finally started to let him throw some passes downfield and he started to look a little better.
It's like if you want Trey Lance to throw a bunch of 5-yard passes, why did you should have just stuck with Jimmy. You should have drafted Mac Jones. Like, what are you doing? But finally, they started using him the way they should, and that's why I'm encouraged. T Bizzle, be good on Twitter, all right? I can't get your back all the time.
All right,
man. Later.
Yep.
The coach.
Fam!
It's been a minute and a half.
Bro, I've been out here trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
All right, Bender. What's up?
What's good, man? How you been?
Good, man. How you been?
Great, man. Everything's been good. All right, so let's get to it. So I want to get to like 2 main points, maybe 3 if we have time. 1, the Trey stuff is definitely from coaches who got fired. One of the things about, when you switch over, especially professionally, coaches don't like moving around. They like stable situations. And when you make a situation as daunting as bringing in somebody like Trey, a new young guy with an already established team, I think we don't look at the fact that the Niners are one of the oldest rosters in the league.
They were last year. They're trying to get younger now. But yeah, you're right.
They're trying to get younger. But, and it happens, you're going to get older. And I feel like certain coaches are starting to look at a little bit of how, the ripple effect of that. And it's like, well, Jesus, do I want to start rebuilding? Why are we? I mean, I know Jimmy's not what he is, but he's ours. Football is very tribal that way. Right. And you could feel like Kyle and John had a hearts and minds of, look, either you with it or you got to go. Or we've evaluated throughout the season and you're not there. I could see just by some of the business tactics that they were using with the money that they did. I think that was the Hightower. They squeezed them. You got to get out of here. So the stuff that's coming out about Trey, especially at this, I would have given this a little bit more credit if it would have came out during the season.
Right. Yeah. That would. Yeah. Okay. That. Yeah. But now
that's real.
Yeah.
Somebody's in the trenches and got the balls to put that out while they're in the building. That's real. Yeah. But not into the new league year while everybody's gone and the entire offensive staff is new. So we don't know. We know somebody who said it is not in the building.
This sounds like sour grapes from someone who's not here anymore. He's trash.
It sounds like, come on, let's be honest. It sounds like Scangarello. Come on.
I mean, I'm a professional. I'm not allowed to be making accusations like that. But
I can do it for you, though. It sounds like Scangarello. Come on, bro. You got brought in for Jimmy.
Rich, if it's not you should say so because everyone thinks it's you, Rich. I'm just saying.
If it's you, Rich. Rich, hop on the chat. It's you. Come on. So, 2, with our draft, I had to get at you for that pick about us not going up and get that pick. Hey, but I will say this.
love hindsight. I'm all about hindsight. I'm not
Okay.
here to pretend like I'm a good drafter. I'm not. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the draft is just picks. It's just
I'm
where
not trying
you
to say
are
I
in the
can do it
line.
better than John. I can't do it better than John.
Right. You like to play to the cheap seats. That's all I'll
Yeah.
say. You got money to make. I ain't mad at you. So, but what I will say is that we did go young at a lot of different areas, but we went high upside on measurables. If you
Every
look
single time.
at
Every single
yeah,
time. Except
you
for
went
Ty
high.
Davis Price, I want to say. I feel like he's supposed to be able to hit the ground running.
No, well, we're not running Debo out of the backfield for what he does once he gets out the box. We're running Debo out of the backfield so we can get leverage in the box. It's about the point of attack and how fast he gets to the line of scrimmage. That's what we were missing.
Yeah.
You know, everything that we get out of Debo after he passes the line of scrimmage is house money.
Yeah.
But the point of attack from the ball getting from the backfield to set up blocks, we didn't have that element in our backfield. And I feel like Ty Davis Price is that with physicality. That's one of the things that I feel like Kyle was giving up by putting Debo back there. It's just like, God, he gets the ball where it needs to be, but Jesus Christ, he can't handle it physically.
No.
So I think that's what Ty Davis Price is for.
Okay. I think so too. Let's see if he can actually pull it off.
Yeah, he gets to the line of scrimmage very fast. I love our draft. And we're not addressing right tackle.
Right.
2
guards again. They took 2 guards last year, 2 guards this year.
And even the tackles that we drafted are going to be kicked inside. They're clearly guards. So, I mean,
That's
are we really?
Baby. Yeah.
Are we going to bat with Justin School, Mike McGlinchey,
Colton
McKivitz, Jalen Moore, maybe?
Sounds like a bunch of guards and Mike McGlinchey.
And
Crazy.
And what rookie are we going to expect to play from the offensive line this season?
I wouldn't expect any of them to. It seems like they all are, a few years away. They got to get stronger.
They're not strong enough. Even Nick Zakelj, I like his body, but he's just not. He's not there yet.
No.
So I really believe, and I was saying this last year, but I really believe that our offensive line is the biggest question mark going into camp, even more so than our secondary.
Well, I agree. For whatever reason, the Niners value D-line way more than offensive line, and they don't seem to value pass protection at all, except for at left tackle.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that is Kyle understanding that he could get the ball out. I'm not worried about us getting the ball out. We did it with Jimmy for 5 years.
Yeah, but Kyle's quarterbacks get hurt every year with the exception of 2019. So he might want to think about pass protection in 2020. It's kind of important in today's football.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle's quarterbacks do get hurt. I will say this, but Kyle's quarterbacks, are Jimmy Garoppolo, Nate Sudfeld.
Hey, man, if Trey gets hurt this year, you're going to agree with me on this. But you're already bringing up the point. I'm just saying, I would hate to see Trey get hurt this year because the pass protection is like a D.
Well, it's going to be there's a lot of pots that he's got to tend to.
Yep.
You got to keep Trey healthy. Yep. You got to get the team younger. Yep. You got to ingratiate rookies. You got to get Debo back on the field, however that mess is going to get fixed.
Yep.
So
keep Kittle healthy.
Yeah, this year I would say is going to be so much more on what we do offensively. This is going to be his hardest year offensively to coach. If you think about, and we haven't even talked about the turnover with the coaches.
Yeah.
You have a whole new staff,
new coaching staff, new philosophy. I mean, it's going to be a whole overhaul, I think, of what they're doing. There's going to be similarities and carryover, but there's going to be a whole shotgun running game that's going to be.
I'm going to be premature. 9 games.
9 wins?
I'd be happy with 9 wins.
I think that's actually a fair way to look at this season. I mean, they had to really stretch hard to get to 10 last year, and this team is way younger now. And a lot younger. Way harder now. Way harder.
Yeah, way harder. But we may get an inflation bump from the NFC being trash.
Perhaps. And, if Trey Lance is way better than Jimmy Garoppolo, as I assume he is, that could be a big difference between this year and last year. Just the quarterback position upgrade.
I just want to see what the version of our offense is like with Trey. I want to see him take it by the horns, not be managed, and just see what it's like when he has his hands on the steering wheel. I just want to see.
I want to see what Kyle does too. Like, how much are you going to use him like a spread shotgun college quarterback, and how much are you going to let him be Matt Ryan under center, rolling out, play action? Because that to me is where he's going to be most dangerous. If you wanted to run like spread offense, you should have drafted Justin Fields. I saw Justin Fields in person. He's way quicker and faster than Trey Lance. Trey Lance is mobile, but I like the way he moves, sprinting out of the pocket so he can set up the throw. I like that. But when it came to the zone read, I don't think he looked special ever running that play last year.
No, I think Trey got a rude awakening on it, especially trying to get to the edge. He played around with it a lot. He wouldn't just get there. Yeah. He wouldn't just get. It's like, bro, we're not in North Dakota State anymore, bro. There's world-class athletes on.
And then he would try to run people over. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
So I mean, all right, over under. Realistically, let's be businessmen right now. As an investment, what is our ROI? When can we expect to start seeing something on Trey? Realistically,
I think the
2
Niners
seasons?
are trying to be realistic and thinking hopefully 2023. Hopefully, but honestly, if they had handled this last year, it would be hopefully this year. That's what I still don't get over. But
when Grant? When are we handling this, Grant? After I just heard the last guy after the Tennessee game. Really, Grant, with the season on the line. Tennessee game.
It's tough, right? Like if they had just lost in Chicago, like they should have, Debo saved them. If they just lost in Chicago, it would have been an easy one. Like they would have been 2-5, I think, 2-5.
Yeah, and that was after Chicago was the
Rams,
the Colts game.
Yeah.
The Colt McCoy game, the Cardinals game.
Yes. I mean, there were opportunities midseason to just make the switch, and then once they went on that run because of Debo. And Jimmy got a bunch of credit. It was hard at that point. And at week 7, I mean, it's really hard to bring in Trey.
Hold on. Can I stop you, please? Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Contemporaneously, it was not because of Debo. That 31-10, that was 31-10 Rams. After that, that wasn't a Debo game.
Well, that was Stafford throwing 2 picks in the
first. Yeah, that was 2 picks. That was a team win. That 31-10 game. The Vikings game, I mean, after that, we went down to the Jaguars. I feel like we got by good Jimmy. Because I'm looking at the schedule now.
He got hot in November.
He got hot.
He did. And that made it tough.
It was hard.
Then he got hurt, and Kyle's like, well, I don't know what to do, man. It's week 17. What do I do? I can't just make the switch. Because if we lose with Trey, I'm an idiot for going with Trey. Like, he would get if he lost with Trey week 17, everyone would blame Kyle, not Trey. It's like, man, you put a rookie in a tough situation, man. That was his third.
Yes. We're going, and then hold on, division rivalry on the road.
Least resistance, man. He took the path of least resistance. No one's going to criticize him for going to his vet week 17. You know what I mean?
But at some point, is that not just smart though? Like, we just lost the game we shouldn't have lost to the Titans, right? We lucked up. We got, that week going into Houston was hell. The Jimmy's throwing by Thursday. It's like, dude, he's not playing. Trey's playing.
Yeah.
Trey played, had a phenomenal game, horrible first quarter, average first half, great second half, right? Then he's got to go on the road, Grant, to a division rivalry, and the season is on the line.
Yeah.
Kyle's getting crucified. Even with our weak media, they got to kill him. Yeah.
Coach, I got to take more calls.
It was great, bro.
Good to see you, man. Don't be a stranger.
Always. I'll be back.
All right, cool. All right, later, man. The Niner, you love to hate 5-0 says NFL Network has us ranked 5 in the power rankings. Get this guy off the air happy with 9 wins. NFL Network's always really nice to the Niners. I think it's because the Niners are nice to them. I think the Niners love having people say that they're good. Aldara.
Hi.
Hey. What's up?
Hola. Because the Niners are playing in Mexico.
That's right. November 21.
I'm so excited.
Nice.
I told you that they were going to play here.
You called it. You had inside information.
Yeah. Wiki. Side information. I want to say that I'm going to be really disappointed if they play here and Trey Lance isn't starting, because it will be the last or the second last week of November. So it will be mid-season, and I mean, it feels like he should be starting. I don't know why it's this debate, but also I agree that people are unnecessarily hating Trey. But I think that is because everyone is waiting on Kai Shanahan debacle, and everyone is waiting for Trey Lance to be used as, see, he's a good coach. He didn't get his guy that was Mac Jones. And everyone is like, please let us be right about how this guy says came. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Trey Lance is a mystery, yes, because we didn't see that much of him on college football, and we haven't seen that much of him. But I don't think that he's bad. I mean, I think he's just a mystery. He's still 21-year-old guy, and he has a lot of potential because he has shown a lot of potential. So I don't think he's bad. I just think that they just want him to use like a scapegoat to say that Shanahan is a bad coach. That's what I think.
I think you're right. I think they realized that by making that move for him, it's such a controversial move. It was so expensive that they kind of felt like we don't want to put him out there until he's good. Because if he's not good right away, everyone's going to jump on us, and you know we're going to get a lot of heat. Let's just wait, you know, because there's no rush. No one's telling us we have this vet. You know, we know we're going to bring a bunch of criticism on ourselves if we play a young guy. If he looks raw, he is raw. He's young. I mean, I think that's kind of how they're looking at it. Like, we were not going to put him on the field until he's 100% great. Like, well, is he ever going to be 100% great in practice? Yeah.
You have to play to be great. I mean,
exactly. You have to let him go through the growing pains. You have to.
It's like how you're going to ride a bike if you don't ride a bike ever.
Yeah, it's right. It's like, I'll let you ride the bike that I bought you once you demonstrate in your bedroom without a bike that you're ready. And I'll tell you when you're ready, just based on the way your face looks while you're sitting there visualizing yourself riding the bike. Like, that's what they're telling him to do.
Yes, because they didn't use like physical evidence, like on this pass he was bad, or it's like I think that the organization is disappointed in basis of the stars. The stars are telling us that Kai Shanahan is disappointed with Trey Lance, and it's like it doesn't work that way. It's football. It has to play.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I'm with you, Aldar. Hopefully the Niners take that leap of faith and let him play. So they should have started this process last year.
Yeah, I mean, I know why it was so hard for them, because it was like, we want an upgrade, but we want to show you that it's an upgrade for make us better, and we are not going to go down. And that's why the reason that Trey was raw and was good enough for compete with Jimmy, but Jimmy is good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I'm a Jimmy guy, okay?
You're a Jimmy guy. You're a Jimmy girl. Are you still a Jimmy girl?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's complicated. It's like
it's a complicated relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that gossip?
Yeah. What do you think? True? False? What do you think?
Too casual to be.
I love how it comes out and people are like, well, you can't rule it out. Sounds like it might be true. It's like, really? That's the most far-fetched rumor I've ever heard in my whole life. But everyone's like, yeah, but Jimmy, though. It's Jimmy.
It's that if he'd have been dated that porn star, maybe we wouldn't be like, yeah.
Exactly. But he did. And so we're like, that seems like something he would do.
Yeah, he would do something that's scratching. And
Jimmy's a little. Anyway, Aldar, great to see you.
Bye.
Hopefully we get to the bottom of that rumor. If you have any information, let me know.
I will consult with the cards.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye. David Hasselhoff says Josh Allen had 10 TDs and 12 interceptions his rookie year. Yeah, but he was white, so that's okay. I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm telling the truth here. What's up? Sorry. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
So a couple things. I don't realize why the 49er fans just don't come to grips with it. I mean, they're basically telling you what this season is. It's a rebuild.
Yes.
It's a rebuild.
They're not going to say that because they have seats to sell, but yes, it's a reload, however you call it, to make it sound better.
Correct. And they're going to be, and if they make the playoffs, which, honestly, 7 teams make the playoffs. So you just have to be average. You don't even have to be good. You can be 8-9, 9-8, and make the playoffs. And the 49ers were 10-7, right? 10-7. And they got all the way to the NFC Championship. They bought themselves 3 years of credibility with Jed because they can say, hey, listen, our window closed. We had 5 years. Jimmy was hurt 2 of those years. We were in the NFC Championship 2 of those years. To Jed, he doesn't want to go back to the Jim Tom Sula, Chip Kelly days. Of course not. So,
No, those are bad
you
days.
know, those are bad days. And
Yeah.
he's already, 2020 was a financial loss for most NFL teams, right? And so they're trying to probably recoup some of that money in the expensive Bay Area. So, I'm sure John and Kyle know that it's a rebuild. They won't come out and say it. They've got some really elite
They almost came out and
pieces.
said it though. I mean, John, when I asked him, he was like, "Well, it was always the plan to take to dial back the spending this year." What is that? That's a euphemism for reloading, for rebuilding. Dial back the spending.
Right.
Oh, okay,
Correct.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
again, if there's so much pressure on this 22-year-old kid, and I can't even
Unreal.
imagine what kind on pressure. 22, you're just getting out of college or just in your senior year to have millions
He's
of
21, by the
people.
way. He turns 22
Oh,
in 2 days. He turns 21. He turns 22 in 2 days. That's crazy.
Again,
He's still 21. Yeah.
he's still 21. So
Super
you're gonna he could play really well, and I think they did this knowing that Jimmy physically was only going to take them so far, and they couldn't rely on their careers with Jimmy anymore. So, but in Kyle's and John's credit, they got to the NFC Championship. They went in front of two teams that kind of choked their wins away. And in Dallas and Green Bay, they lost those games.
They beat the Super
more
Bowl
than
champions twice.
Again, to me, the 49ers are playing with house money. They could go back to Jed and say, hey, listen, what do you want this first year? We'll be fine. We'll get draft picks after his year of seasoning, and they'll say this was right on track, right on schedule. What isn't accounted for, is a positive if they do well, right?
Mhm.
And then it's the Mahomes, because everyone wants to compare him to the Mahomes arc. But if you look at that team, the Kansas City team, that Kansas City team was a perennial playoff team and getting to the divisional round. It wasn't like the 49ers who were barely getting in, luckily getting to the NFC Championship. So it's not like for like. And so for people to put that much pressure on Trey is a recipe for disaster. But also, to me, the most exciting part of the season is coming up is the games that are being released and when they play teams, because it's really going to matter. They want to have Seattle first. They want to have some teams that are having a new
Arizona
quarterback.
late.
They want to have Arizona late. Correct. You don't want Kyle Murray in the beginning because he'll torch you.
Nope.
He's at full strength.
Yeah.
You want to have Seattle in the beginning before, Carroll figures it out. You want to have some teams. You don't want Tom Brady in the beginning of the year. You want him towards the end. You want Miami. So the Niners are an 8-9, 9-8 team. If the schedule breaks their way, it's 2+ or 2- from that.
I agree.
Right?
They could be a 10-win team. They could be an 11-win team. They could be a 6-win team. It's very intriguing. They have a very difficult schedule. A lot depends on how it's laid out. Yeah.
Correct.
And we'll find out in a week. I think it's the 13th. I don't know.
I'm excited.
I think it's the 13th.
So,
yeah.
Hey,
All right.
I'll be thinking about you tomorrow. So good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
Yep.
Thank you. David Hasselhoff says Jimmy got warm versus the weak part of the schedule. True. Black Caesar says conspiracy theory time. Niners downplaying Trey in order to set the stage for Jimmy Garoppolo to turn $26 million to sit in the bench. Dude, there's no way that the Niners are like, dude, we gotta whisper something about Trey. Hit up Matt Lombardo. Who the hell is Matt Lombardo? We're hitting up Matt Lombardo. He's gonna be the guy that. What's up, William?
Hey, how you doing, Grant? Long time.
It's been a minute, man. How you been?
I've been good. Surviving COVID.
That's good. Good to hear.
Hey, I just want to say it's not a rebuild or reload. It's a renovation.
I like it.
It's a renovation.
Okay.
I think the thing that's going on, right. I think the thing that's really going on is our last season was kind of like a Uno hand. You get that nice hand that you can't believe that you got, and you like, okay, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play that, but you hold on to that draw 4. You're holding on to that draw 4, and Trey was that draw 4.
Yeah.
And then you realize somebody else got a draw 4, and you got to the end of the hand, and your draw 4 just got jumped.
That's right.
And that's what happened. We held on to our draw 4 way too long.
Yep.
But I think
that was the trump card. Yeah.
That was the trump card. That was the card that we should have went with. Really, to be honest, after the Houston game, Trey should have never came out.
Yep.
Trey should have been
hurt. Just be like, Jimmy's still our starter. Whenever Jimmy's healthy, he can come back, but he's hurt. He's a broken thumb. He's a broken thumb.
Because you gotta understand, football players are what do you call superstitious.
Yes, they are.
And despite the injuries that Jimmy had, thumb hanging off his hand, shoulder hanging off, arm hanging off his shoulder, they still wanted to go with him,
right?
Because of
they win. Because they win. He's the quarterback. They win. It doesn't matter. Why question it? Yeah.
But I tell a lot of people, I say, blame Debo. And people were like, what do you mean? I say, if Debo would have not won that Chicago game for us, Trey Lance would have came in, he would have got the reps he needed, and we would be going forward. It would have changed everything right now.
What you're saying essentially is that Debo Samuel is selfish and he needs to not play as well next year. Stop playing so well.
No, right? Be a team player.
No, be a team player. Think about the big picture, Debo. It's not all about you.
I know. I'm making it all about him.
Also, Debo throwing that touchdown pass week 17 in LA.
I know, right? I know.
So selfish.
Hey, they gonna tell. I know. Tell Cal, put me in. I'm gonna score for you. Cal's like, I'm trying to make Jimmy trying to fit a narrative, and you're messing it up.
That's hella funny, man. Yeah.
But like I said, it's Trey time, and I think Brandon Marshall did us a favor. He did something really nice for the Niners. He got Kittle to actually talk about Trey Lance.
Yep. Good point. Good point.
Kittle did not want to talk about the quarterbacks at all. Yeah. But I forgot the name of who else was the guest, because Brandon Marshall said, well, Kittle won't say anything. And that kind of put in a little spot on the spot. Right. So Kittle said, yeah, if you can hear him on the background, he said, yeah, I'll speak about it. And that's when he started talking about Trey. And he was like, he felt Trey was ready. He said, the only thing is, and this is the best way you can sum it up, he says, Trey is as good as he can get practicing.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
He's as good as he can get practicing. Sometimes you got to play him. And for the amount of money and the amount of picks and things we've leveraged for Trey, I don't care what happened. I don't care if he's not ready. I don't care. Put him out there. We already done bought the land.
Exactly.
We already done bought the land.
Yeah.
It's too late to start taking thoughts. It was a big sign that said no refunds.
Right. That's right.
You got to go with it.
You got to go with
it now. All this playing around with Jimmy, but I will say something that I think you said one time, and I thought about it recently. And I know we harp on Jimmy about not running and not throwing deep and stuff, but what if sometimes Jimmy actually does want to run? Jimmy actually does want to throw deep, even if he knows he's gonna miss it. But Cal has him under the thumb.
Maybe
Jimmy
could be.
Do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. I know it's possible, man. He's definitely a micromanager, right?
Yeah, you seen it during that. I can't remember the game, but you seen it when he put Trey in, and he had Trey throw this like pass right over to Debo that I was like, why would you do that on the goal line? It's like it was no chance of that play working. Yeah. And Trey came off the field and actually questioned Kyle on camera.
Oh, yelled at him.
And that's what Debo had to grab Trey and say, Trey.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That was the last throw. That was the last throw of the Houston game, and Kyle yelled at him.
Exactly. So it's just a certain type of fit and control that you can tell Jed likes to have.
Yes.
John, he just don't care. John doesn't care. John's collecting checks.
Yeah.
Cal just wants to be that guy. He so much wants to be the player that he's forgetting he's the coach.
Right. That's true. He wants to be the player. Always holding the ball. Yeah.
Exactly. You're not
one of the guys.
Because I know a lot of people was like, if people listen, once again, soundbite, when they played the soundbite of Debo in that Cowboys game saying, give me the ball, I'm going to score. And you heard, and he came back from scoring, and he said, see, I told you I'll score. And Cal said, thanks for telling me. But a little bit, that was kind of seemed a little sarcastic to me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And when that opportunity came back, wink, wink, championship game, where did you see Debo? On the bench.
That's right.
He's like, you ain't going to show me up again.
That's right.
I'm the genius here. I'm the genius.
You would have a fourth down with Debo on the bench, right?
Exactly. I'm the genius. You know what? I'm going to show you how much I'm a genius, and then I can do it with anybody. Send in Travis Benjamin.
You know what? We're not going to give Debo the ball at all in the fourth quarter. Not your game.
Oh, don't do it, Jimmy. Don't you? Because honestly, when he took Debo out, I think that's why Jimmy was looking over to the bench and I think that's what happened to the time. He's like, Debo's not in. We need this. Debo's over there. Where is he? He looked over and seen who it was, and he said, "Oh my goodness!" He read the back of the jersey and said, "Oh my, you really got to put this on me." Oh, dang it! He realized he couldn't even call the time. It was like no time. He was like, "Hey." And
that was funny, man. You're probably right, dude. You're probably right.
Put that on Jimmy, but that wasn't Jimmy. No, Jimmy was looking for Debo.
Yeah.
And he saying, "Oh, Debo."
Travis Benjamin.
What the hell are you doing? Why? I'm telling you, I was reading the faces and what Jimmy's face looked like at that situation, and he looked like, "Are you kidding? You really gonna do this?" But Cal probably said, "Go."
And if it fails, it's your fault, Jimmy.
Right.
I'm blaming you.
You know that was the narrative, because honestly, Cal really didn't want to run it back with Jimmy last season. He didn't.
No.
But he had the locker room against him. And John Lynch even said in an interview with Matt Mayoko that they was talking about Jimmy. And he said the reason Jimmy was back and still on this team was because I wanted him to be there.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah.
He quoted it. He said, yeah, it was my decision. I wanted him. So that's how you could tell Cal really didn't want him, but he's like, hey, it ain't John. I can oversee John. Yeah. But the whole locker room wants Jimmy. Yeah. So he like, if y'all willing to put y'all season on the line, and then here come Debo once again, wanting to be a winner. Wants to go to
Debo. How dare you?
Come on, Debo. Be a team player. Take one for the team.
Wear it. Good call, William. Thanks for calling in. That was a great call.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too, man. Peace. KO, I see you walking around. You ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing,
what's up,
my
man?
Jewish
Thanks for
brother?
waiting. Sorry to make you wait so long, man. How you doing?
Man, we're doing a little grocery shopping. It's my birthday, man.
That's what's up.
How you doing, brother?
Where you calling from?
Las Vegas, Nevada, man.
Nice.
But I'm from San Jose, though.
Cool, man.
Yes,
What's
sir,
on your mind?
yes, sir. Man, what's the topic today?
You tell me whatever you want to talk about. We're talking about Trey Lance a lot. Why everyone
first of all, man, I just want to, say that, I'm excited about talking to you, brother. I done seen you do your thing. You feel me? And
appreciate you.
You one of the ghosts, man. You one of the real ones, bro.
Thanks, man.
But I just want to talk a little about Debo, man. I know it's a little annoying. You feel me? We talking about him all the time, but he ain't going nowhere, bro. You feel me? And I don't feel like he the type of person that'll sabotage the season. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's more. He got more love for the game, you feel me, than just to like go ahead and be like, oh, my ACL is hurt or something like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like he gonna do us the right way. You know what I mean?
He's too competitive to take the punk's way out. I feel it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice chain, dog. That was nice. Love
it.
Appreciate
that, brother.
Man, I gotta get one. I gotta get a GC chain, man. I'm inspired. All right, keep going.
Hey, we gotta get you one, brother.
Yeah.
And then who else we could talk about? I like Drake Jackson. I like him a lot, man.
Yeah.
He's from Compton, you know. That's where my wife's from. So I mean, like they got a lot of good. Yeah, he's from Compton. There's a lot of good prospects out there.
Okay.
So yeah, man. And then I don't like Gray either, man. I don't like him either. I was watching Crocker, and he was just like, the man don't got no explosion when he comes off for a deep threat. He has no explosion, bro. So I'm just like, man, bro. Like he kind of looking. I don't know about Dante Pettis, but he kind of remind me more of that Patton dude, the Quentin Patton.
Quentin Patton.
Yeah, because he was fast too, but he just had no explosion off the line.
Yikes!
And it was an embarrassment. He went to the AFL. And
Yeah,
I hope that's not where Gray's at. I hope he don't end up there in 2 years.
He was the 15th wide receiver taken, so I don't really know what the expectation should be for him, man. I don't know.
Who did you like in that slot that we could have grabbed?
Calvin Austin, the dude who went in the 4th round to Pittsburgh. They could have taken him the next round. I like Calvin Austin. He's little.
Hey, you said it too. Pittsburgh know how to draft, don't they?
I don't know how they do it, but they're really good at it.
And we just recycle their wide receivers, man.
Pretty much. Oh, we take Ray McLeod. Hella funny, man. Hella funny.
I think Ray McLeod might be a dog.
Pittsburgh got rid of Ray McLeod. Niners took him and they replaced him with Calvin Austin. They got the next one, who's way faster than Ray. I'm just saying, Niners could have had him.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And
so, are there like a bunch of Vegas? Are there a bunch of like Raider fans in Vegas, or do people not care?
I mean, you know, the Raiders don't even got a fan base. Where are they? The LA Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, man. We call them Trader Raiders, man. We all know who they are. They ain't got it. I think they're paid spectators, just like Arizona. Paid spectators, man.
All right, man.
But I'm gonna go to the Niner versus Raider game. It's like a little preseason game out here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're gonna have a regular season game there too this year.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if it was preseason or regular, but it's gonna be you don't have to have a vaccine or nothing to go into the stadium now, so it's fully open in Las Vegas. So I'm excited, bro.
Cool.
But, hey man, I want to say thank you for letting me on here, bro. And I'm definitely gonna try to get in contact with you and hop on here again, brother.
Definitely do, man. Always welcome. Appreciate you, KO.
Shalom, my brother. Shalom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Later, man. Jeremy says, damn, William Bennett killed it. QC Merge. Take my money. Should have played the kid. Debo the man. He did kill it. So did KO, though, man. I grew up with so many kids that talk just like KO. You feel me? People that say you feel me every 30s. I love, man, that takes me back. I takes me back. I love that guy's a real one. Greg, you feel me? What's up?
Hey, Grant. Good to talk to you. Always watching you, but never.
Sorry to make you wait so long, man. I appreciate you hanging in there with me.
The coach and William killed it, so they took a lot of my thunder. But
I like your backdrop with all the different James Bond movies. I like that.
You know, and for me, you know, Grant, I mean, you know, Trey Lance, I'm really excited to see him play, and I think that, you know, he has a lot of potential. And, you know, but we put so much emphasis on who the quarterback is, and we put all our blames there when really we should be looking at, you know, who's calling the shots, which is Kyle. And that what worries me. You look at this draft and it's like, it's all of Kyle's wish list basically. Mm-hmm. And we're not filling any holes and
none.
You know, yeah. And it's like,
who needs a safety and a center? Let's get another running back.
Yeah, exactly.
Another running back for the second year in a row in round 3, because that's what we need.
Yeah, and you know, that's what kind of worries me when I think about Trey Lance is, you know, it's like he's going to need time, so he's not going to be like Patrick Mahomes right out of the gate. But are we just going to dump all our blames on him for all the holes that the rest of the team?
Yes, that's
doing?
exactly what the fans are going to do, and I feel bad for Trey because if Trey gets hurt behind this line, people are going to say he should have protected himself.
Yeah, and that's what worries me as a fan is that it's like, you know, it's like, for all the negatives Jimmy brought, I mean, he wasn't completely trash. You know, it wasn't his fault that we didn't stop the Chiefs at 3rd and 12, 2-3 times in a row in the Super Bowl.
That's
you know, so it's like, what is Kyle and the management of this team actually doing to actually address the actual holes? Instead, they blame everything on the quarterback position. And, you know, it's like if Trey does great, wonderful. You know, it covers all the multitude of sins.
That's true.
But if it doesn't do good, it's like, well, he wasn't all that great. It's like, well, what are you doing? Yeah. You know, it's like you guys have been sitting on the fence for years. You're not going to make a decision, and you're doing
wasting a year of his development.
Yeah, and you're not actually addressing any of the other holes, like offensive line, like the defensive
secondary
backs. I mean,
safety.
It's like, yeah. I mean, I mean, it frustrates me because it's like I think he has great potential, but I'm afraid that we're just going to run him into the ground just like we did Jimmy, just like we did Alex Mack, just like we did Colin. I mean, it's like we put all the emphasis on that and not on what the decisions in the front office are. And really,
people seem to forget Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was a generational kids. Yeah. There was this guy named Andrew Luck. He was great. He went to Stanford, great player. Retired before he was 30 because the Colts never figured out that you needed to give him an offensive line. It was a really sad story. He should be in the league right now. Andrew Luck, look him up.
Yeah. So I mean, and Coach and William killed it, but it's like, what is Kyle's role in it? I mean, when I saw Kyle do, QB power with Trey Lance, I was like, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, man, what are you doing, dude? This is your franchise. What are you doing?
I mean, it's like Kyle's a definite genius, but he's not. He shouldn't have all the power, and he does.
No. Yeah.
And John
he abuses
Lynch, I like John Lynch, but I don't think he actually has any actual power.
Right.
I mean, because it seems like whenever a good decision's made, oh well, Kyle made that decision. But if it's a bad decision, oh well, John Lynch is trash.
What do you think on that one, John? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, well, what power does John actually have? And I've heard you talk about too that, one of these days, years after they're all gone, we'll finally maybe know, someone will tell the story of what the actual dynamic was. But it's like, I wonder how much power he's ever had, because I think that it's always Kyle pulling the strings, or it's
I just think John's in charge of like talking to the media and whispering to the media. You know what I mean? He's got the media connections. He was in the media.
Well, and whenever it is a good pick, it's either Kyle or Adam Peters.
Peters.
It's never John's pick,
No.
It's
John and Jimmy are sort of the same. Like Jimmy is the scapegoat in the locker room, and John is a scapegoat in the front office. Whenever anything bad happens, John, how many times we got to tell you to get it together, John?
Well, and like what William said about Debo being, on the sideline, and Jimmy being like, what the heck? I mean, but it's true though. I mean, it's like, could you imagine what's going through Jimmy's head? He's like, Kyle, are you serious here? It's fourth down.
Throwing the game? Like, what is happening here? What?
Yeah, but Kyle's ego is the most important thing on this team. Always has been.
That's true. And sometimes his ego and the pursuit of winning go hand in hand. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they diverge, and he always goes with the ego.
And that's what as a fan worries me, is because he definitely has a lot of genius qualities, but when the ego gets in front of what the team and what it takes to actually win, that's what gives me a lot of concern. And I'm afraid for Trey Lance's future, because I think that he has a lot of potential, but only if he doesn't get in the way of Kyle's ego.
Oh, great call, man. Great, well put. Thank you very much.
Well, best to you, Grant. Appreciate you, and give your best to your dad. I always enjoy watching him, and good luck on the house hunting.
Thank you, Greg. Calling anytime.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Jackass Penguin, how are you?
Hey, good, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice to finally talk to you. I know I've.
Yes, nice to finally talk to you too.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was going to be a penguin, but it's a real person, so that's good.
I have that picture too, but I figured the camera's actually working. Just a couple of things. But I know I think it was earlier this week I was going to talk to you about the draft, and
sure.
I actually I'm not going to say it was a good draft, right? Because it was odd. It was an odd draft, but I actually really liked the running back pick. And
tell me.
So here's
it makes sense, jackass penguin. I'm not calling you a jackass.
No, that's okay. So you know how you've always been saying, like, hey, the Niners should always be spending a second rounder at least on a corner, right?
Yes.
That's kind of like your thing. I think that's what they do with running back now.
Yeah.
Because
round 3 every year.
Yeah, I mean, but it kind of makes sense too, right? Because the way that they use their running backs, it's just kind of chewing them up, and I think that's the one I would say. They always seem, the 49ers always seem like they're a franchise that's just kind of, behind the curve. They just don't really and I think as far as running back, I think they're opposite of that. I think they try to be trendsetters. I think they try to,
it's actually an important position. It's undervalued. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's just how they view it. But if you take Deebo Samuel out of the running equation last year, they were a pretty average running team.
Even with Deebo on the team, jackass, they were 16th in yards per carry, even with Deebo on the team. So yes, I agree with you.
So I think that's when I look at that and I was like, I know everyone hates that pick. And I mean, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I know exactly why he should have been ranked there, right? I don't know. I mean, he's got a pretty nice size speed combo and everything like that. Something they don't have, so it makes a lot of sense that they took him. But so I don't know. I looked at that draft and I was just like, I don't know. Who knows how that's gonna play out. I just think your strategy with the corner, I think they look at running back that way. And I kind of get that. They're a team that they double down on their strengths. And it's for the most part successful, but it's frustrating. Yeah.
Here's the thing, Jackass. I just feel like it's totally fine to take a running back where they did. Like the Jets, they took a great running back, Breece Hall. I think when you're taking a running back in round 2 or round 3 to justify that, it's got to be a 3-down player in the sense that he's got to either be one hell of a blocker or one hell of a receiver to go along with his running. Otherwise, you can get running backs who just run and are 2-down players. After the draft, I mean, the Niners undrafted free agent running back, Jordan Mason. He's a terrific 2-down running back, goal line guy. Like the guy who went 2 picks ahead of TDP, Rashad White, really good receiver. I don't know. To me, you're looking for the Jerick McKinnon, the guy who doesn't come. I mean, Jerick McKinnon never was Jerick McKinnon, but the Christian McCaffrey, the guy who stays on the field. Am I wrong, Jackass? I don't know.
No, you're not wrong. I think you're right. If it's like a gadget piece, then yeah, it makes no sense. But I think they probably view him as like every down back.
I would hope so, because to me, I'm looking at him as like, you just drafted a 2-down committee runner in round 3. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Is he that good that you're going to give him 12 carries a game and take him off the field on 3rd down? Like, you had to have that. But maybe I'm wrong, Jackass.
And maybe they think, oh, if we make him at every down, okay, well, this is really cynical. But if they think, well, we don't want to admit that we failed on Trey Sermon, right? So they all fit. It's going to be a committee. It's like, and it might work out. Sure. How do we know?
Expensive committee.
It probably will.
Only 3rd-round picks. All 3rd-round picks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, instead of just spending one, the 1st rounder on a running back, why not three 3rd rounders?
Maybe that's it. I think you're right, dude. I think you're right. I think we're going to see this again next year. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the player, like I like him. I think he does run pretty violently, and he's big enough to do it. Like I do like that. We don't really have that. And Mitchell, I mean,
he's a lot smaller. Mitchell's a lot smaller than TDP is for sure.
Yeah, so it scares me if Mitchell's going to have the same workload as he did last year. I remember I was always messaging Jesse. I was just like, Mitchell's gonna get hurt, and it was like the 2nd game. I was like, he's going to get hurt.
The way he runs at his size,
the way he runs, the way that they were using him, it was insane. So, and of course, Trey Sermon first carry, he gets knocked around like a pinball machine, and that sucked. I mean, that was just really unfortunate and stuff like that. But maybe that's how they kind of like look at that position. It's like your strategy with corner, like we always take that.
I mean, the freaking Steelers have drafted a wide receiver tight end in round 2 6 years in a row. There are certain organizations that have philosophies on when to take certain positions. Maybe the Niners have found that the end of round 3 is their sweet spot for running backs. Now they just have to hit.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, it would be nice if they actually hit on someone.
Hitting's important.
Yeah.
All right, man. I got to take a couple more calls. Thank you for calling in, Jackass Penguin. I appreciate it. You were great.
Thanks, man.
Terrific. See you. Rohan, what's up, man?
Hey, Grant. How you doing,
man? Good.
Thank you. I wanted to pick your brain. I just heard the last caller talk about running backs, and I kind of wanted to pick your brain on a thing I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, or specifically the last couple of days. And last year, if Elijah Mitchell was drafted where Trey Sermon was drafted in the 3rd round and had the production that Trey Sermon had, would we be mad at the pick? I want to hear what you have to think about that.
Would you be mad at the pick? No, I don't think so. What do you think? I don't think so.
I think I wouldn't be mad at all. But Elijah Mitchell, a guy projected to go in the 5th or 6th round, ends up getting picked in the 3rd round, but has a production that kind of takes away the draft status.
Right. So you take him in round 3, everyone's like, oh, what a reach. How could you do that? Like with TDP, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And like that's kind of so me personally, I wasn't as big of a fan. I thought TDP would go a round or 2 later. But we also know that Kyle Shanahan likes that. Like he has one certain running back. I'm going to take that guy because I think
also Brian Robinson went 5 picks later to Washington, and maybe they would have taken TDP if he was available. So I don't know that he would have been available a round later. You know what I'm saying?
That could have been the case. Yeah, because NFL circles and media circles are different. I heard
that's right.
The main guy that I heard was Cole Strange. People thought he'd go round 3. I heard that he was actually not making it past 45. And Cam Jurgens, a guy people thought would go round 3, goes up 51. because and he was in consideration at 29. So it shows that there's like the circles are different. But like looking at the pick, Jerome Ford was there in the 5th round. I thought he would have been a good talent. But the thing is, when we're looking on this a year after, I feel like we're not going to be as like we're not going to hate the pick as much as we disliked it originally, because TDP has the best chance out of anybody in this rookie class
to contribute.
Exactly.
I agree. He could start. In fact, he should if he's good. I mean,
and he could.
He could.
Yeah, he definitely could start because he brings like the physicality that he imposes, right? That explosiveness. We see the numbers 153, 10-yard split, 93rd percentile for all running backs. You know, we see the numbers, and he brings something different in that he imposes the defense immediately. And I think that could be a very interesting thing you start with, because the 49ers, they're a physical team. We saw it with Debo last year. You know, we want to continue that physicality while taking the load off our main guys like a Mitchell, like a Debo Samuel, and more importantly, like a Trey Lance.
My question is, like, I just feel like when I watched TDP, he didn't look super explosive to me. And I know he was like 230 pounds. He drops about 15, 20 pounds, runs really fast. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of what Mitchell last year. He dropped 15, 20 pounds, ran a 4.35, but I never thought he actually played at that. So I'm curious to see what he looks like, what weight he'll be, what he actually is in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think some of that explosiveness, right? A lot of people want, like, when you look at the tape, the one problem with TDP is he can't necessarily utilize the entirety of it, because the explosiveness is getting past that first, right? Getting right in front of that offensive line, getting past that first level into the second level, and then making magic work. But TDP didn't get that opportunity. The LSU offensive line was one of the worst I've watched at the collegiate level last year. And so when he's trying to sneak past that hole, it's too clustered and too like, it's just, there's not enough room for anybody to run that system. And so that's why I think the explosiveness was somewhat shadowed in a way over there with TDP.
Hey, that's a great call, man. Thank you for calling in and shedding some light on the Niners' most controversial pick this year.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Rohan writes for Niners Web Zone. Check him out. Am I wrong?
Yeah, 49ers Web Zone. Yeah, 49ers Web Zone.
He's really good. He does great work. Check him out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohan. Later. Peace. Yo, I got to end the show, though. I got to go check out stuff and do work and stuff. I'm sorry, Jake the Snake, Underdog, and Jodeci. Man, Jodeci called in Casey and JoJo. And the third guy, whose name I forgot. Are you a fan of running back by committee? Yeah. It just seems expensive to keep drafting him in round 3. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another Cohn phone. If I missed you, I'll get you tomorrow. Peace.